Hey besties, welcome back. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Garet, and we're your hosts of Modern Gaze. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about blaming the messenger, specifically inspired by our favorite show, Selling Sunset. The drama that's unfolding on that season around delivering information that could be quite controversial, shocking, and you don't really know if their intentions are pure or if they're just trying to stir the pot. So many times in our lives that we have heard something on the streets and we want to inform our friends. Should we say something? Should we get more information? Let's break it down.
Us gays, we just know how to do stuff.
Well, what about modern gays?
That's easy. Modern gays do everything. So I have an observation.
Yes.
My observation is I feel like in any situation, you would be the person who has the information and holds it close to your heart.
I like to gather all the facts. I'm a data specific person and I don't like hearsay. I don't like, goss unless I have receipts.
Right. But even when you have the receipts, you still keep them close to your chest and your lips are tied.
Yeah, I'm not a gossiper. I'm not someone that goes around chit chats and
yeah, but even then you're still
about this and that.
I know. You make these faces like you have the information.
Oh, like on the vault.
Yeah, you are the vault. The vault is hard locked.
I want you to know I have the information.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to give you the information.
Absolutely. And even if you do anything to get into that vault, it ain't gonna open up, girl.
That's because I'm very trustworthy. I'm a very trustworthy person. I am also very, very, very good with other people's secrets. If you have something that you're working on or something that you want to confide and you need support, I'm the person to trust because I am not going to be spreading that information around and I wouldn't tell a soul.
I have to agree.
Okay, so speaking of messengers, this episode was inspired by Selling Sunset. We obviously saw all of the episodes. We binged the whole show. And it's been 8 years of the show. I cannot believe it. Chrishell is an OG. I didn't even realize she's
Chrishell and Mary are the two OGs because it goes back to the very first season. Chrishell and Mary was the only really OG that was at the Oppenheim group.
Yeah. So everyone else has either moved on or had babies or moved to Miami.
Right. Or just left the drama.
Or was fired.
So speaking of drama.
Wait, reverse it. Okay, so Selling Sunset, if you haven't seen it, this is a spoiler alert. Spoiler. So on season 8, throughout this whole show, basically Bree, Chrishell, Emma, and Chelsea are friends.
They're besties,
right? Bree's kind of on the outskirts of this friendship. She's always had a thing with Chelsea. They have not been getting along.
Because Chelsea always came for Bree's baby daddy, had many partners who he's had multiple children with.
Nick Cannon.
Chelsea didn't agree with that type of upbringing for Bree's child.
And she dropped so much judgment, had so much to say about it, and obviously had a lot of impact on Bree.
Which was none of Chelsea's business.
Chelsea was in the wrong there. Anyway, So now Bree just happened to fall into some information from another friend of hers.
So she says.
Amanda, who said that she has a friend who is at the W who saw Chelsea's husband with another woman.
Right.
And that kind of just snowballed into this massive drama.
They're saying that Bree actually had the information and Bree set up that scene
with Amanda
to come and talk it at coffee.
On camera.
Right.
And then delivered that information to Chelsea direct because she was like, I want to be a good friend. We're working on a relationship. I want to be transparent. And I want to alert Chelsea that this information is out there and it's coming out. And I want to, give her a heads up.
Okay, 2 things. I just had a thought. 1, I love Amanda. I think she should be on the show.
Drama. She's drama.
I can't wait. Secondly, I think that Bree did give the information to Amanda, her friend, to get her on the show.
No.
Yes, because then why is she in the office calling Jason saying, hey, Jason, I got a new candidate for you?
Yes, because she's been burned now. So wait, we'll get there because I want to talk about what happens when you are the messenger and then you get burned and then you turn into a vengeful person. Anyway, so back into this whole situation, Chelsea appreciates in the moment that Bree is coming to her with this information and she's very upset and she obviously has to do her own investigating with what's going on in her family life. And then meanwhile, Chelsea's being comforted by her other best friends, which is Chriselle and Emma. Those are her like real besties, right? And Emma brings up the point, wait a minute, are you sure that Bree's intentions are good? Or did she fabricate this whole scenario and scene to create more drama for your life? Because we know that you guys don't get along that well. Yes, she didn't get along that well with Chelsea, but she was made privy to some very damaging info about Chelsea's husband, and she wanted to get in front of it.
She was trying to be like, woman to woman, I'm protecting you. Your man's a piece of trash, and this is what I have on him.
Right. And she chose to do it on camera. And that was the issue for the show that I don't get. I
don't get that either because they're filming.
They're filming.
You're on a reality television show.
They basically have made an agreement, deal with the devil, basically.
Right.
They need to share their authentic, true stories of their lives. And they share the ups and the downs and everything. And on Real Housewives, they're always complaining about, you're not sharing everything.
I was going to just say that. Like, everyone's always talking about Kyle and Mauricio, Dorit and PK. Like, it seems as though, and I get it. I get why these reality housewife stars and reality TV stars want to have a bit of privacy in their lives, but girl, you're not even selling houses.
No.
So there has to be some other drama.
And you know what? Yeah, obviously the show Selling Sunset is not about the houses. It's not about real estate. Like, it's maybe 5% of the show.
Right.
You know, it's really about these people's lives and their character and like who they are and their friendships. And
correct.
They're interesting. They're fun.
We only watch it because we miss living in LA. So for us, it's like a virtual experience back home.
Correct.
Like, that's why we really watch it.
So when Chelsea was talking to her friends, Emma and Chriselle, she started to change her thinking. And she was like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe Bree was actually
bad,
stirring the pot. And she actually was just like reveling in the fact that like, I held onto this information and I got you. And I'm like, basically gave you back that karma, because Chelsea gave Bree a lot of shit.
She gave me a lot of shit.
Chelsea's like, oh, Bree's giving me that shit back.
Right.
And so I get the thinking, but in that scenario, I also am really identifying how calculating Chelsea is.
Look, I'm on the fence.
Everyone is calculating.
Yeah, I can't with this one because I'm on the fence. I would be Chriselle. I would be wanting to get all sides of the facts because I see how Chelsea thinks and I can see how Bree thinks about just trying to be honest with the intentions. Like she said, it was going to come out anyway.
Right.
So the information was out there.
Yeah. And I don't care like, oh, you brought it to camera, you didn't bring it to camera. That's the show that you're on. You're filming. This is the information that's being provided. This is the game that you're playing. This is why you have an audience and a community that have built up around you and support you on a international level, is because you have so much vulnerability and you're really showing every aspect of your life.
Right.
So the camera aspect of it is bullshit.
Right. So why do you think that we generally take down the messenger? Whenever someone comes to us or you hear a friend that has a friend that comes to them with some information that they're privy to, why do you feel we instantly take them down?
Well, I think it has to do with trust. Obviously, Chelsea doesn't trust Bree. Like, if something's happening in your life and you get information from someone that you may not trust, you question where it's coming from and you question their motives and the intention. If it's coming from your absolute best friend that you've gone ups and downs with and you have such a great, bond with, then that information can be taken in a different way. Now, if they announce it at like a group dinner, like in front of a bunch of people.
And they haven't had a conversation that's private with you first.
Yeah, that would be an example of like a fucked up situation where you'd be like, what the hell is going on? That can happen when people get drunk or they drink too much or they're intoxicated in some way and they blurt it out by accident. Or even like when you tell friends something exciting and something really positive in your life and you're not really ready to tell everyone, then that can be so many different situations, whether it's moving or a promotion or you're having a baby or like anything else is going on in your life that you were waiting to tell someone and someone else kind of blurts it out by accident. Did they blurt it out by accident or did they have some kind of intention behind it? This idea of blaming the messenger or shooting the messenger is actually from like ancient times. Some kingdom needed to send a message to another kingdom that they were going to attack.
Through who?
Through a messenger. King, this person demands that we have access to this river and we need to come through your land. And they can be like, no, we're going to kill you. And so they'll literally blame the messenger. So it's that person who's delivering the bad news or the aggressive news or something that's negative in any way. they could take out their reaction or negative energy back onto that messenger.
Right. Well, it's like that game Telephone. Did you ever play Telephone or Whisperers at school where the teacher would say a phrase or say a sentence and then it would go around in a circle and then you'd have to get to the end and it has to be the same?
Right. So that depends on how many messengers were involved for that information to reach you.
And the point is, it's like people hear different things. People communicate differently.
And put a different intention or energy behind it.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely.
So with the Bree situation, you had someone random who saw Chelsea's husband with a random woman who then told a friend. That friend then called another friend, which was Bree, and delivered that info at lunch in a very dramatic, like, I got Goss, I got the tea kind of way. There was 3 messengers in that situation.
There was 3.
So obviously some of that messaging could have changed as it made its way to you.
That's what I'm saying. You need to see the cameras at the W Hotel, Hanny.
So the fact that, Chelsea in that situation is going so aggro against Bree is interesting because Bree's actually the third person to know this information.
Right. Chelsea should have just gone and called the security. Security.
Get me the camera.
Watched her husband make out with a girl, 28-year-old girl.
I'm sure she did that.
And then go to Bree and say, thank you for bringing me this information.
Yeah. Turn the storyline around. She knows that this information is going on. This is reality. She didn't control Chelsea's husband and make her do anything.
Right.
When she says, I'm not taking any blame for that bullshit is a real, because she shouldn't. This is so relatable, this experience, because this is happening between these women on the show, but I can relate in so many different ways, and I know a lot of people can, because we've all been one of those characters,
right? When
information has been delivered, like we've been Chelsea when it's the bad news to us, and we're like, what the fuck,
right?
We've been Chriselle in the middle, kind of like, oh, I want to get both sides of the story, and I don't want to lose 2 friends. I want to bring everyone back together. I want to be the bridge. And then we've all been Emma, where we've been like, shady bitch. Like, I don't trust her. Like, I now have a totally different opinion. And then it's like we've been Bree, where we've also been trying to like deliver news.
Right. So in a positive way.
We have been, so these are like 4 very different women who have completely different roles in this like scenario. And I think I have personally been each and every one of them in different situations in our lives.
So speaking of these 4 characters.
Yeah.
How can you deliver the message without being blamed?
It's a hard one. I think you have to choose the right setting. You need to use empathy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be objective, offer support.
Yes.
And be prepared for whatever that reaction may be.
And you see, that's what I think Bree did. She did all of those things. She absolutely offered Chelsea support.
So I think breaking it down, choosing the right setting, you need to maybe not do it on camera.
Right.
Maybe you need to not do it in front of lots of people. You need to pull someone aside and know the timing. If someone's going through something else, find a good pocket. And then when you're using empathy, I think that you can't deliver any kind of news being like, I told you so.
Right.
Know that bad news might require a little bit of heart. Be objective, give the facts. Like, be really specific with the information. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be like, oh, I don't know. If you don't know, zip it.
Yeah.
Zip it. If you're not 100% sure, do not say nothing.
Right.
Get your facts in order. Do an investigation. Be a little PI. Get onto the socials. Like, do your work. Ask ChatGPT. I don't know. Just like get in it and get all the facts. And then when you're giving that information, you're obviously going to have to be prepared for what they're going to say and offer support.
Right.
Because if they turn on you, are you ready for that?
They could. Well, they did.
Right? Like, and what are you going to do when they turn on you?
Be a salty bitch.
So with Bree, she's doubling down. She's going, all right, I'm going to wear black leather. I'm going to take on my friend. She's going to be wearing black leather. We're going to be evil superheroes.
They're going to be villains.
And we're going to be like, we're going to fuck this shit up. You think I'm a bitch? I'm going to be a bitch.
Right. You're going to make me out to be a bitch. I'm going to own it.
I'm going to come with the energy that you are giving me.
Right.
And I get it. You know, I'm not blaming her for it. This show in this scenario has made me really appreciate the different real authentic personalities. And I feel like Bree is actually genuinely being herself.
I was going to just say, it makes me believe her a lot because she's just like, I was just delivering the news and you're coming for me.
Yeah.
And then you're going to come for me and make me out to be the bad guy. Well, here I am.
Obviously our show is about authenticity, right? And when we look at reality television shows, we demand authenticity.
Absolutely. They all talk about it. I'm being authentic. I'm being true to myself. I'm going to own it and tell you how it is.
And I feel like we're judging characters, real people, real human beings with real lives, right? These aren't These aren't actors, but we're judging them on the level of how authentic we think they're being now.
Yeah.
And it's not just the drama. It's not just like, oh, this person's fun or whatever. It's like, do I like them because are they being authentic enough? So in relationships, you're the messenger all the time.
Right.
You're always the messenger.
Right.
And that's communication.
Yes.
Right. So when you're talking to your partner and like you need to give them good news, you need to give them bad news.
Right.
And sometimes, like if you're in a breakup situation, that's some message that you need to relay to somebody.
Absolutely.
Especially when you want to control the reaction or try to remedy the after situation. When you have some bad news to give to someone, you are the messenger, no matter what the situation is, whether it's like a relationship or friendship, your parents, or
even in family situations, it can just be setting a boundary, right? Or communicating what you need.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always need to be a negative, gossipy drama type message. It can just be, I need some space, or I need this from you, mom.
Yeah.
Like it can be very simple.
And somehow this reality television show, Selling Sunset, which has gorgeous fashionistas parading all over Los Angeles and West Hollywood, they are a really good example of what dynamics are involved in blaming the messenger or in delivering bad news.
Right.
And it's maybe a good lesson for everyone to watch, because now I really see things differently.
You see both sides.
You need to be a bit of Chriselle, where you can see both sides. She's very weak with her delivery.
She's to attack.
She needs to be like, I support you, I love you, but I'm not going to alienate my other friend who I also feel has valid points. And I don't think that she was intentionally being vindictive and evil towards you.
Right.
And I know that you think that. And I'm trying to build a bridge. And if you don't want to build a bridge, I will respect that. But at the same time, I'm not going to just give up on all my friends. I am 100% standing by you and supporting you, but I'm not going to change my behavior and change my thinking because you're demanding me to.
Right.
And if that is what you're requesting from me, then maybe you aren't being a good friend to me.
Right.
And I feel like in that, Chelsea, I think she's balancing that, navigating it, where she's like, okay, like I value Chriselle, but I'm really pissed off at her because she's supporting Brie, but I don't want to lose her as a friend.
Personality,
she's got to navigate that.
Yeah, but Chelsea's personality is so strong.
Yeah.
Chriselle will never stand up to Chelsea.
No, but at the same time, Chriselle's
She'll
not
eat her
gonna,
alive, girl.
I know, but Chriselle is standing her ground. She's like saying, like, listen, I understand your, because she.
Chriselle is you. That is you.
It is me, but you know what she's doing? She's leading with empathy. She's like a picture of empathy.
She really is. That's why I said she's you.
Oh,
because she's coming into the scenario with her point of view, but she's delivering it softly and empathetic.
So when people like, in my generation used to say like, I'm the Carrie or I'm the Samantha from Sex and the City. It's today is like, no, I'm the Chriselle.
You are the Chriselle.
I'm the Christine. You're kind of a Christine Brie.
I'm definitely the Brie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You
Who's
give
Christine?
The original Brie. Because with Brie wearing the blonde
copies her hair.
Brie wearing the blonde wig, like basically is like channeling
from the
Christine
back. From
energy.
the back shot, it looks like Christine.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's back.
I wish she was back.
She should be back.
That would be fun.
I know.
Anyway,
well, this totally turned into a Selling Sunset show. So we hope you're a fan. If not, you do need to get into it. It basically inspires us every day to be like, should we be doing real estate?
Clearly. I even got my real estate license.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep building the vibrant life you want by owning your authentic self.